You keep waiting for somebody to show up and tell you it's your time. Let me tell you something right now. It's already your time. You don't need a green light. You are the green light. You don't need permission to be great. You owe you. Stop playing like you don't know who you are. Stop walking around asking people if you're good enough. You waiting for validation? From who? From people who gave up on their own dreams. From people who settled? Nah, you owe you. You were given life. That's the proof. That's the receipt. That's all the permission you'll ever need. So why is you sitting around waiting on a miracle when you're the one that's supposed to be the miracle? You keep hiding the parts of you that hurt. You keep burying the pain, pretending the past didn't happen. But let me tell you something. The stuff you're trying to forget is the very thing that built your strength. You better own it. Own your pain. Own your scars. Own the times you got knocked down and didn't quit. You want power, you want purpose, then stop running from your story and start using it. You think self-love is soft? You think it's taking a break? No, self-love is discipline. Self-love is doing what you said you would do long after the mood is gone. You say you love yourself, but you keep lying to yourself. You keep quitting on yourself. You want to level up, then get serious. Lock in, clock in, show up for you. And let's talk about these excuses. Excuses don't pay bills. Excuses don't make history. Excuses don't get you results. Nobody cares about almost. I almost got it done. I almost went to the gym. I almost started the business. You don't get paid for almost. You get paid for execution. Period. You're already enough. But see, that's the problem. You don't believe it. You out here trying to impress the world. Posting, pretending, performing. But what you really need to do is look in the mirror and prove it to yourself. You the one. Not them, not someday, right now, not when it's easy, not when you're ready, but when it's necessary, right now. You keep talking about what you deserve, but listen, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you demand. If you want it, go take it. The universe don't speak hope. The universe speaks hustle. It speaks discipline. It speaks grind. Closed mouths don't get fed. You better open yours and say it. This is mine. Not with your voice, with your life, with your actions, with your results. You owe you. You owe you that goal. You owe you that dream. You owe you that next level. You owe you to stop playing small. You owe you to stop waiting for someone else to believe when you haven't even gone all in. It's time to show up like your life depends on it, because it does. You've wasted enough potential. You've sat on enough talent. You owe you, and it's time to pay up. Let me know if you want this adapted into a short version for reels, a video script, a powerful hook, or background music suggestions. I got you. Microphone full motivational speech. You owe you listen to me closely. This ain't about your mama. This ain't about your daddy. This ain't about your teacher, your boss, your coach, or friend. This is about you. You owe you. You owe you an apology. For every time you gave up on yourself, for every time you said, I'll start tomorrow, and then for every time you let fear stop you, let people distract you, let comfort trap you. You owe you more than what you've been given. You out here grinding for other people, making sacrifices for everybody else, showing up for them. But when it's time to show up for you, you're tired, you're scared. You're scared. You're distracted. No, that ends today. Because you owe you the truth. And the truth is, you haven't even tapped into 10% of who you could be. You haven't even scratched the surface of your power. Not because you can't, but because you keep handing out your power like it's cheap. Let me ask you something. How much longer are you gonna play small in a world built for giants? How much longer are you gonna let your past write your future? How much longer are you gonna settle when you were built for more? You weren't born average. You just got comfortable living there. You say you want success. You say you want to be great. Then pay what it costs. Sacrifice, discipline, consistency. That's the currency. That's the rent due every day. And the only one who can pay it is you. It's time to stop looking for motivation and start moving on commitment. It's time to stop asking for help when you haven't even helped yourself. It's time to stop blaming life and start becoming the reason your life changes. You owe you the version of you that shows up with fire in their soul and purpose in their heart. You owe you to finish what you started, to go harder, to get stronger, to stay in the fight. You owe it to the little kid inside you who once dreamed big and still whispers at night, we can do this. So stop playing, stop shrinking, Stop pretending you're not built for this. You don't need more time. You need to make a decision. The question isn't can you, it's will you. Because the truth is, nobody's coming. Nobody's handing out greatness. Nobody's gonna wake you up at 5 a.m. Nobody's gonna hold your hand when it gets hard. You got one shot, one life, one name, one legacy. And the person responsible for how it turns out is looking at you in the mirror. You owe you. Now go pay your dues. Let me know if you'd like a short version for reels, a caption, or a video description too. Stop waiting for permission. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to give you the green light. You owe it to yourself to start now. You've been sitting on your dream, your goals, your vision, waiting for somebody to notice you, to tap you on the shoulder and say, it's your time. But life doesn't work like that. There's no whistle blowing, no gun going off, no official telling you that the race has started. It already started the moment you woke up with breath in your lungs. You keep waiting for somebody to validate your idea, approve your plan, clap for your grind. But understand this, if you keep waiting, you'll look up one day and realize years have passed. And the only thing that changed was the calendar. No one is obligated to believe in your dream more than you. And the more time you spend looking for support before you act, the more power you hand away. People don't follow the dreamer, they follow the doer. They follow the one who shows up day after day without applause, without recognition, without approval, and still puts in the work. Because those are the people who make things happen. The ones who said, I'm not going to wait for someone to let me in. I'll build the door if I have to. There's no magic in hesitation. You keep saying, oh, when the time is right. But when is that? When you feel more confident, when you have more money, when everyone agrees. That day never comes. Confidence comes from movement, from action, from failing and still showing up. Not from waiting in silence, hoping the world hands you an invitation to be great. You've got to stop asking for permission to be who you already are. The greatness you're looking for is already in you. It's just been buried under layers of fear, doubt, and waiting on someone else to say a go. You've been taught to stay in line, follow the rules, wait your turn. But life doesn't operate on a number system. Success isn't a deli counter where you get served when your number's called. It's a battlefield. It's a race where only those who start moving have a chance to win. You don't need credentials to begin. You don't need a title to lead. You don't need perfect conditions to start changing your life. All you need is the courage to step forward, even when nobody is clapping, even when nobody believes yet, even when you're unsure, but you move anyway. You owe you the chance to see what you're really made of, and you'll never know until you stop playing it safe, until you stop asking for directions from people who've never been where you're going. You keep trying to make everyone comfortable with your decision to grow, but growth is uncomfortable. It threatens people who stay behind. It challenges the mindset of those who quit on themselves. That's why they try to talk you down, not because you can't do it, but because your commitment reminds them of their excuses. And instead of rising with you, they try to pull you back. That's why you can't wait for people to get it. Some people won't believe in you until you've already won. Some people won't support you until it benefits them. That's just the truth. But that doesn't mean you stop. That doesn't mean you hold back. You don't wait for perfect support to take imperfect action. You don't wait until you feel ready, because you'll never feel 100% ready. There will always be fear. There will always be unknowns. But what's worse than the fear of failing is the pain of regret. The pain of knowing you had the chance to go all in on yourself and you didn't. You've got to be your own permission slip, your own validation, your own motivation. You got to look in the mirror and say, oh, let's go. Not because someone told you it's your time, but because you decided it is. Because you've wasted enough time waiting for the stars to align when you could have been building your own sky. You've waited long enough. You've made enough excuses. You've talked yourself out of it too many times. The clock is ticking, and life doesn't pause just because you're scared. If it matters to you, start. If it's in your heart, do it. If it keeps you up at night, that's the signal. That's the green light. That's the universe telling you. What are you waiting for? You don't need anyone to understand your vision. You don't need approval to chase what lights your soul on fire. You just need to trust that what's inside of you is greater than the fear trying to hold you back. And once you make that decision, everything changes. Because power doesn't come from being chosen. It comes from choosing yourself. Own your story, the good and the ugly. The past doesn't define you, but it shaped you. Every scar, every setback, every mistake, every tear, it all built the foundation you're standing on right now. You keep trying to erase the pain, to forget the failures, to hide the parts of you that weren't perfect. But that's not strength. That's fear disguised as pride. And you can't grow if you're busy pretending the struggle never happened. Stop running from your story like it's something to be ashamed of. That broken chapter, that moment you thought you wouldn't make it, that decision you regret, that season when you were lost, it matters. Not because it holds you back, but because it taught you something. It gave you something. It gave you grit. It gave you empathy. It gave you perspective. It gave you a reason to fight. You're not meant to be flawless. You're meant to be real. People don't connect with perfection. They connect with authenticity. And your story, all of it, is your power. When you tell the truth about who you've been, you step into who you're becoming. That's how healing happens. That's how growth begins. You've got to stop pretending like the old you doesn't exist and start honoring the fact that even the old you was doing the best they could what they had. You went through things nobody saw. You carried weights in silence. You fought battles behind smiles. And guess what? You're still here. You didn't quit. You didn't fold. So why are you ashamed of what made you this strong? Why are you embarrassed by the very thing that built your resilience? Own your story. Don't let anyone weaponize your past against you. Don't give them that power. They didn't live it. You did. You survived it. You endured it. You learned from it. Now use it. That's the difference between people who stay stuck and those who rise. They don't deny their story. They use it as fuel. They build from it. They turn the pain into passion, the shame into service, the guilt into greatness. You don't need a new past. You need a new perspective. You need to look back and say, yeah, that happened. But look at me now. Look at how I turned all that mess into a message. You are not your mistakes, but you are the person who grew through them. And every time you own that, every time you speak from that place, you remind the world that you're not a product of perfection. You're a product of perseverance. You want real freedom. Stop hiding. Stop filtering your life to fit someone else's expectations. Show up fully. Show up all. Show up with all the chapters, not just the highlight reel. Because the truth is, the ugly parts of your story are the parts that made you unshakable. That's where the power is. That's where the purpose is. That's where the future starts. When you finally accept that every single thing you've been through has prepared you for everything you're about to become. Discipline is the real self-love. You say you love yourself, then show up for yourself every single day. You think self-love is about spa days and affirmations? No, real self-love is when you make a promise to yourself and you keep it. When you say you're gonna do something and you follow through even when the mood is gone, even when it's hard, even when nobody's watching. That's what love looks like in action. Not words, not feelings, action. If you really love yourself, you don't keep breaking your own trust. You don't keep quitting on yourself. You don't keep lying to yourself with, I'll start tomorrow. No, you get up, you get focused. You get focused. You do what you said you were gonna do. Because you respect yourself too much to live on excuses. You can't claim to love yourself and then treat your goals like a side hobby. You can't say you're committed and keep giving yourself a way out. You show love by showing up. When it's boring, when it's inconvenient, when you'd rather be doing anything else. That's discipline. That's self-respect. That's real love. The truth is, if you want results, you have to be consistent. And consistency doesn't come from motivation. It comes from discipline. Motivation is a feeling. It comes and goes. Discipline is a decision. It's that voice in your head that says, oh, we don't skip today. We don't quit today. We said we were doing this, so we're doing it. Even if it's uncomfortable. Even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's slow, even if nobody claps for you. Discipline is setting the alarm and getting up when it rings. Discipline is going to the gym when your body says no, but your purpose says yes. Discipline is choosing the hard road now, so the future is easier later. It's making decisions based on who you want to become, not how you feel in the moment. Every time you choose discipline, you reinforce your own power. You prove to yourself that you can be counted on. And that builds confidence, not fake confidence, but earned confidence, the kind that sticks. The kind that doesn't care what people think because you know what you're capable of. You say you want to feel good? Then do what's good for you, not just what feels good to you. Stop rewarding yourself with things that keep you stuck. Start rewarding yourself with growth, with purpose, with discipline. Because that's the highest form of love. The kind that pushes you forward, that keeps you honest, that holds you accountable to the vision you said you wanted. You've done enough talking. You've made enough promises. Now it's time to follow through. You don't get to have self-love without self-discipline. Because if you love something, you protect it. You invest in it. You take care of it. So take care of your future. Take care of your body. Take care of your habits. Take care of your dream. You want to feel proud of yourself? Then do the hard thing. Not once, not when it's convenient, but daily. Because that's what discipline is. Love with a backbone. Love that shows up. Love that doesn't flinch. Love that gets results. Excuses don't pay bills. Effort does. You don't get credit for almost. You don't get rewarded for I tried. You get paid for execution. Let's keep it real. Nobody's handing out trophies for potential. Potential doesn't pay your rent. Potential doesn't put food on the table. Potential doesn't build the life you dream about. You can have all the ambition in the world, all the talent in the room, all the right intentions, but if you don't execute, none of it means anything. People out here are getting beat by folks who have less talent but more grind, less knowledge but more discipline, less opportunity but more hunger, because effort moves things. Excuses, they just keep you in place. You keep telling yourself, I'm doing my best, but are you? Or are you doing what's comfortable? Because there's a difference. Saying I tried, it might make you feel better temporarily, but it doesn't bring results. The world doesn't respond to almost. It responds to what you finish, to what you produce, to what you deliver. You say life is hard. Yes, but guess what? It's hard for everybody. That doesn't make you special. The grind is hard. The pain is real. But effort is the equalizer. It's the one thing you control 100% every single day. You can't always control your circumstances. You can't always control people's opinions. But you can control your effort. You can decide to keep showing up. You can decide to outwork the doubt. You can decide to stop talking and start executing. Everybody's got an excuse, but not everybody's got the results. Look around. Winners don't make excuses, they make adjustments. They don't sit around explaining why it didn't happen. They figure out how to make it happen next time. That's what separates those who rise from those who stay stuck. Effort over excuses, execution over emotion. You want something? Prove it. Not with your words, not with your plans, not with your Instagram posts, with your actions, with your discipline, with your follow-through. You want it bad enough to stay up late, to get up early, to stay focused when distractions call your name? Because if you don't, someone else does. And they're gonna win. Not because they're better, but because they didn't sit around explaining why they couldn't. Excuses are easy. Everyone has a reason why they can't, why they're not ready, why it's not fair. But you know what's harder? Looking in the mirror, knowing you gave less than what you had. Knowing you let fear or laziness or distraction steal something that could have been yours. That pain, that's worse than any grind. That's worse than any hustle. That's the pain of regret, and it lasts. You weren't put here to make excuses. You were put here to build, to create, to work, to win. But none of that happens without execution. You want to be successful? Then do the work. You want respect? Then earn it. You want results? Then go get them. Not someday, not next week, now. Because at the end of the day, the truth is simple. You don't get paid for trying. You get paid for doing. You don't get results from wishing. You get results from working. You don't level up by talking about the grind. You level up by living it daily, consistently, relentlessly. And that grind, it doesn't care about your excuses. It only respects your effort. You're already enough. Now, prove it to yourself. Stop trying to impress the world. The only one you need to prove anything to is you. You keep bending over backwards trying to show people you belong, trying to earn their respect, their applause, their validation. But the truth is, no matter how much you give, no matter how high you climb, there will always be someone who says it's not enough. So why waste your energy trying to meet expectations you didn't set for yourself? Why let their opinion shape your identity? That's a game you'll never win. And even if you do, you lose because you traded your power for approval. The problem isn't whether you're good enough. It's whether you believe it. You've been doubting yourself for so long, you don't even realize you've been shrinking to fit into places you've outgrown. But deep down, you know there's more in you. You feel it. You hear it. Hear it. That quiet voice reminding you that you were built for more than just surviving. You were built to rise, to lead, to create, to dominate. But here's the catch. None of that shows up until you do. You're waiting for someone to crown you, to tell you you're ready, to give you permission to be great. But greatness doesn't come from a handshake or a spotlight. It comes from owning who you are right now and backing it up with action. You don't need to change to be enough. You need to accept that you already are. Now move like it, walk like it, work like it, speak like it. Because when you stop performing for the world and start performing for your own purpose, everything shifts. You start making decisions from confidence, not insecurity. You start creating from truth, not fear. You stop chasing attention and start chasing mastery. You stop settling for a maybe and start demanding a definitely. You were never meant to be a copy. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to stand out. But you can't stand out while trying to blend in with people who don't even know who they are. Stop scrolling for your identity. Stop borrowing your worth from likes, followers, and fake approval. What you've got in you is real, raw, original power. But until you believe it, until you own it, you'll keep living below your potential, waiting for a nod you don't need. This isn't about ego. This is about truth. This is about getting clear on who you are and no longer apologizing for it. This is about waking up in the morning and saying, I don't need to prove it to them. I need to prove it to me. I need to know I gave it everything. I need to know I didn't hold back. I need to know that when it got hard, I kept going. That when fear tried to sit me down, I stood up. And that proof, it doesn't come from talking about it. It comes from doing it. From stacking wins. From building discipline. From putting in the work when nobody's clapping. From taking the shot even when you're unsure. From showing up again and again until belief becomes undeniable. Not because someone told you. Not because you heard in a speech. But because you lived it. You earned it. You're already enough. That's not a question. The question is, will you act like it? Will you prove to the one person who matters, the one looking back at you in the mirror, that everything you've ever needed was already inside you, waiting on a decision, waiting on you? You don't get what you deserve. You get what you demand. If you want it, go take it. The universe responds to grit, not wishes. Too many people out here walking around with this idea that life is supposed to hand them something just because they're a good person, just because they've been through pain, just because they've suffered. But life doesn't work like that. Life doesn't reward potential. Life doesn't care about what you deserve. Life responds to pressure, to persistence, to demand. You don't get what you owe. You get what you insist on through effort, through discipline, through force of will. You want success, you've got to take it. You want respect? Earn it. You want your dream? Build it. No one is going to hand you your future wrapped in a bow. You can sit there and wait for perfect timing, or you can get up and make it the right time. Because the truth is, you don't rise to what you hope for. You rise to what you expect of yourself. And if your standards are low, your results will be too. You think champions become champions by chance. You think the greats wait around for someone to recognize them. No, they move like they belong before anyone agreed. They demanded more of themselves. They put pressure on life and said, I won't stop until this bends in my favor. And that's the difference between people who talk and people who win. The winners refuse to settle. Stop saying, I wish things were different. Start asking, what can I do to change them? Stop hoping life makes it easy and start committing to get strong. Because wishing without work is a waste of energy. The universe doesn't hear your excuses. It hears your effort. The consistency. It hears every rep, every setback you bounce back from, every no you turn into fuel. That's the language life understands. Grit. You can have the dream, but you've got to stop begging for it like you're not worthy. You've got to demand it like it's already yours. Demand the best from yourself. Demand focus. Demand follow through. Demand growth. Because if you don't, you'll always be at the mercy of people who do. And let me tell you something. People who demand more will always outrun people who just wish for more. Don't get caught up thinking you need permission. You don't need a degree to be consistent. You don't need a platform to be disciplined. You don't need a crowd to take that first What you need is fire in your chest, hunger in your spirit, a decision in your mind that says, I'm not asking anymore, I'm taking responsibility for what's mine. Nobody's coming to save you, nobody's coming to crown you. But if you stay locked in, if you move with intention, if you stop waiting and start demanding more of yourself and from life, everything changes. Because life doesn't give you what's fair, it gives you what you're willing to fight for, what you show up for, what you refuse to quit on. So don't talk about what you deserve. Don't complain about what hasn't shown up yet. Go demand it, go build it, go become the kind of person who doesn't hope it happens, but makes it happen.